Clarissa Shields calls Jake Paul's bluff, and Team Gervonta Davis says Netflix was ready to go. It was Jake Paul and his team that pushed to have the fight not go as scheduled. Let's talk about that all in this video. Smash the like, sub to the channel, share this video. I am live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live Sunday mornings with the singing OG KQKC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Join the channel as a member. Drop super chats when you come by the live streams that we do. And hit me up if you want to debate. The email address is knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. And please hype the video up. Right where you can leave a comment. YouTube has a new feature where if you scroll over where you leave a comment, there's a new hype button. Hit that hype button for your boy KO if you're rocking with the content. And if you're just rocking with me in general, hit that hype button. It's going to help me in the algorithm. It's going to increase the reach of this video. And it's going to put us more recommended. It's going to make the video and the content that I have be more recommended for people that's looking for boxing talk content on YouTube. So if you're rocking with your boy, hit that hype button. But without further ado, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about what Claressa Shields said about the situation on Twitter. She says, I have a few things to say about that. One, I will say this. I'm not going to say I 100% agree with what Jake said. But I will say is that we all knew Tank's background with domestic violence before his fight got made. Before any of his fights get made, we already know he's got some issues with this. This is not his first, second, or even third time with something like this coming out or whatever the case may be. Now, he's been arrested for it, but he hasn't done jail time for it. But we all know he has his struggles with this. So I don't know why he brings it up as if Jake didn't know this about him already. That's one thing I don't like. Secondly, to say he's the most vile human being and blah, 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 none of this was being said until this stuff came out. I just think they just be karma for some people. It just be karma. That's all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Let me tell y'all something. I've said something similar to what I'm about to say now, but I want to be very clear because a lot of y'all come in my comment section and you don't listen to what the hell I say. Because every real one that rocks with the channel, y'all know I'm delivering the best takes on this shit. Like, you don't want it, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but the takes, the discernment, the logic, my shit been on fire in all regards, and y'all know this shit. But let's move on from that for a second. Here's what I'll say. Claressa Shields is making my point, and the overall point is, if it's really about that, then you should have never fought him in the first place, right? If it's really about, oh, I'm standing up for women, or he's a vile human being, he's this, he's that, bro, then you should have never signed on a dotted line to fight him. If mere, and then and so I agree with her, but I just have to keep telling you guys, man, mere allegations should not stop you from being able to make your money. Furthermore, what is the point of our judicial system? What is the point of living in America if someone can be found innocent or charges can be dropped and you still label them with that thing that they got off on or were found innocent of? If you want to just keep it totally 100, based on what happened in the cases and based on the facts, Tank Davis deserves criticism for what he did February 1st, 2020, when he took his baby mama about that damn game. And what he did, I'll tell y'all the exact day. And what he did November 5th, 2020. When he did that hit and run. If those are the things that you are going to criticize him for, and you are going to judge him based off of, then yes, he was on camera, you saw him, right? And you know for a fact, the only reason he didn't go to jail or get charged with that is because she refused to testify. But everybody saw it. So criticize him for that shit. He deserved that. He earned that shit. The November 5th, 2020 shit, on camera, you saw him. And on top of seeing him, he was found guilty of that shit. Criticize him for that shit. 100% criticize him for that shit. The lad too. Same woman recanted and refused to testify. And there's actually evidence of her whooping on him. So how y'all hold that against him? This one, we don't know all the facts yet. So I'm saying all of this to say, bro, if it's really about facts and information, then you got to go based off of the facts of what we know the young man actually did for sure, because the court system played it out and said he's guilty of this, he's guilty of this, he's not guilty of that. We can't say that he did that because we don't have enough evidence to say that he did that. Like, people are just making their mind up with limited information, all because they may or may not like a young man. So I actually like what Claressa Shields had to say about Jake Paul, and I'll take it a step further again, bro. Like, if it's about that, then you should have never fought Mike Tyson. If it's about that, then you should have never been training with Shakur Stevenson, who was on camera punching a woman himself. If it's really like that, you should have never tried to fight the young man in the first place. I just wish that people would just say like it is. I'm very consistent with this. I have no problem with Shakur Stevenson sparring Jake Paul on some petty shit. My problem is you acting like it's for business. You acting like it's just because you trying to get some good. No, you doing it to spite Tank Davis. You were doing it to be a hater because you want to see that young man lose. Just call it like it is. Nigga, I'm trying to beat him any way I can. Since he won't fight me, shit, I'm trying to beat him like this. I'm trying to help Jake Paul beat him. Tell your favorite fighter to fight me, then I won't have to beat him this way because I really want to beat his ass in the ring. Would I agree with that statement? Fuck no, but I would respect it a whole hell of a lot more. Same thing for Jake the Snake Paul, bro. Same thing for Jake the Snake Paul. Look, he got these allegations levied against him. I can't do my brand like that. It's too much controversy before the fight. I didn't like the way he was promoting it anyway. He's been a nightmare to work with. This was the last straw. We got to protect the brand. I'm just moving on. People will respect that more. But when you start talking about, oh, he got these allegations against him, he's a piece of garbage, he's this, he's that. Number one, we don't know if he's guilty or innocent. But number two, you face some crazy ass allegations yourself in the past, brother. And you wanted the benefit of the doubt. And I'm sure if you interview with somebody and they bring that up, you may either end the interview or get very, very disturbed. So I like what Claressa Shields had to say there. I agree with that. Secondly though, what Kenny Ellis said about Jake Paul being the one to not pull out the fight, I'm being the one to stop the fight, him and MVP, and it wasn't Netflix. Coach Kenny, bro. Coach Kenny Ellis, man. You kind of need to chill. Kind of need to chill, bro. Because you was the one that was saying the fight's still on, the fight's still on, the fight's still on, and then you were proven wrong. You continue to be dead wrong about the fighter that you in camp with. About his business moves, who he fighting, what he doing, what's going on. So you just need to sit that one out, because you make yourself look like an idiot and you making Tank Davis look like an idiot. That would be number one. Number two, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Because even if it was Jake Paul's decision, he can't do that without the blessing from Netflix. If Netflix say, hell no, we spent too much money on this, you got to go through and fight him or we going to replace your ass, then Jake Paul is stepping in the ring against Gervonta Davis on November the 14th. So you can't say it wasn't Netflix, because they're the ones footing the bill. They're the ones distributing the fight, bro. They're the ones that have the final say. Jake Paul, we don't want nobody but Tank. We ain't finna do no replacement opponent. We're not pushing the event back. We already did 2 press conferences. We already done sold thousands of tickets. We already got all the documentary shit done. So we are going to stay the course and have the fight go through, or you don't get paid and we'll just replace you. with somebody else. But the event is going through. What you want to do? Because they're the ones footing the bill, bro. Jake may have went to them. He may have initiated the conversation. But this was a MVP Promotions Netflix decision together, Coach Kenny. Because Netflix is the big dog. Netflix is the $530 billion company. They're the ones giving out the deal. Jake Paul is the one going to them getting a deal. So he cannot just cancel the shit if Netflix still wanted it to go forward. So to me, that's arbitrary. To me, that shit don't matter. And I'm seeing Coach Kenny Ellis doing interviews on Mill City, breaking down Brian Norman versus Devin Haney, putting himself out there in a vacuum. In the grand scheme of things, is there something wrong with that? Nah, not necessarily. But bro, with Tank going through this issue that he's going through, I don't really want to hear from nobody on Tank team unless it's talking about that situation, bro. I really don't. I heard Coach Calvin say it's nonsense. And if it come out that it's not nonsense, we not only looking at Tank crazy, we looking at his OG crazy. Why you say that shit with nonsense? What type of OG are you? Did you turn into a yes man? What the hell going on? And then with Kenny Ellis, I'm looking at you like, bro, like, don't say nothing or come out and defend that young man. And if it's indefensible because you know some shit that he did or whatever, and it's really bad or whatever, then we don't want to hear you talking about other fighters, man. Stand in the pocket with your youngin', bro. Or say some shit that makes some sense. Say some shit of substance. I loved what Coach Kenny had to say about Jake Paul and him being a hypocrite, right? And taking up for how Jake Paul was going at Tank. I think that was fire. But talking about saying capping ass shit, like, oh, it was Jake Paul, Netflix was ready to go forward. Man, listen, if Netflix would have twisted Jake Paul arm and said, nigga, we ain't canceling shit, he'd been fighting. No, they gave the okay, they gave the green light. And guess what they're doing, bro? This is how you know they backing Jake Paul. They're not saying, yo, the next Tank Davis fight is going to be on Netflix. Jake Paul is going to do another event in December. They're supposedly finding another opponent for him, and he'll still be fighting on fucking Netflix, bro. So you make no sense when you say it was a Netflix decision, and they're cutting ties with Tank, who probably will maybe never fight on the platform, or at least not anytime soon. And they're deciding to stick with Jake Paul. That's glaring. That's telling, bro. So I didn't like that shit, man. I didn't like that shit because, number one, it don't, and most importantly, bro, it don't make no sense. It's not true. Netflix was on board with canceling the goddamn fight. Jake Paul might have started the conversations. He may have said, hey, this is what I want to do. But they backed him. So they're more responsible for stopping the fight than Jake Paul is, because Jake Paul ain't got no power. He had to go to them and say, are you okay with me doing this? It's an MVP Promotions event, but you're footing the bill for the event. Are you okay with this? Because we want to do this, and this. And they say yes or no. And they say, yeah, we cool with it. Let's go. So, yes, they are just as responsible as Jake Paul for stopping the fight, Kenny Ellis. Let's be real, bro. Smash the like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.